TVKPM.
Salam sejahtera. Anda sedang menonton Road to Success SPM 2021 bersama saya, Sean Steven, selaku hos anda. Sebelum kita mula, saya nak ingatkan kepada anda semua untuk sentiasa mengikut SOP yang ditetapkan bagi menangani penularan COVID-19 seperti memakai pelitup muka, kerap cuci tangan dengan sabun dan air serta pakailah hand sanitizer ataupun gel pembasmi kuman. Serta apabila anda berada di tempat awam, pastikan jarak di antara satu sama lain tidak kurang daripada 1 meter. Baiklah, sebelum kita teruskan lagi, saya nak bagi tahu kepada anda semua, subjek untuk hari ini adalah English Literature Drama Flowers for Algernon. Dahulu itu izinkan saya untuk berbahasa Inggeris. Alright, so now that we know the subject for today, how about we take a look at the teacher's profile who will be with us today. Let's have a look. And standing next to me right now is Puan Asima, also known as Puan A. Hello, good evening.
Good evening.
Thank you for being here with us. Now, you are also from SMK Asunta Petaling Jaya, is that right?
Yes, I am. Yes.
Okay, so maybe you could give us or tell us a bit more about this subject. Why should students actually take up this subject for SPM?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. Thank you for asking. If I could, I would like to tell all young ladies, all young men out there who love literature, who love language, who love poems, short stories, novels. If you're in Form 3, if you're in Form 4, if you're thinking about taking this paper, please give it serious thought. You'll have so much fun, you'll learn so much. You won't regret it.
Okay. And hopefully with your guidance today, they'll be even more motivated to actually take up this subject. And before we continue, how about we practice some SOPs over here?
Let's
There's
go.
actually a bottle of hand sanitizer.
Right.
Maybe we can, you could also put some on.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll do the same right after.
Okay.
It's very important for us to make sure hygiene is taken care of, especially for our hands as well as our facial area, and that's why we're wearing our facial mask today.
Correct.
And right now, since we are in at least, between
meter
us,
away,
at least 1 meter away, now we can take off our face mask. Let's
Okay.
go. And for those of you watching at home, when you take off your face mask, be sure to keep them at a safe place. Like the teacher and I, we have a special case just to keep our face mask. So don't put it all around, leave it on the table, on the floor, on your head. Oh, please don't do that. Keep it in a safe place. All right. So right now we've already talked to the teacher, Puan A. And how about before we look at, or before we get to know our students who are online today, how about we take a look at this video?
My name is Bernadette Rene Ashura Raju, and I'm from Asunta Secondary School. I started to learn literature in Form 4, and I took it as an additional subject because in science stream we're not offered so. I took literature because I wanted to gain a better understanding at life and to learn English in a much more fun and creative way. What I like about this subject is that there is no boundaries when learning this subject. It has also helped me to active my imagination, to meet the characters of the materials that I read, and to feel the emotions that they feel at that moment. Studying literature has also helped me to learn the complexities of life in a much more creative way. What I find very difficult in learning the subject is the fact that there is a very certain complex vocabulary that you have to learn and use to write your answers in the exam. You have to be able to coordinate sources and ideas from the materials to form a good argument or an opinion, and it can be quite difficult to grasp. Why I recommend literature to other students is because literature is a subject where you can appreciate the meaning of life and words and how much power it can hold. If you're a student that enjoys reading and forming opinions based on materials, literature will not be a problem at all. Literature will also help you to gain a better profound understanding in life, and it also allows you to have a freedom of writing and a structure of which other subjects do not offer.
And there you have it. Now let's take a look, or let's get to know the students who are online with us today. Hi guys! Hi! There we go. 6 amazing students with us. I'm just going to mention your name. So what you need to do is later on when I mention your name, just unmute your mic and introduce yourself. So it's going to start off first with Aisha.
Hi everyone. Hi, I'm Aisha. I'm from SPM.
All right, thank you so much. And next we have Lynette.
Hello everybody, my name is Lynette Lopez and I go to SMK Asunta.
All right, and I also see a couple of you also wearing baju Raya, right? So we're still celebrating Raya. So Selamat Hari Raya to everyone who's celebrating, and also for those of you who are watching right now. Okay, let's continue. We also have Sophia.
Hi, good evening. My name is Sophia and I'm from SMK Asunta.
Thank you. Next we have Delphine.
Hi everybody, my name is Delphine and I'm from SMK Asunta.
Thank you. Next we have Lavania, sorry.
Good evening everybody, my name is Lavanya and I'm from SMK.
Thank you. And last but not least, we have Amanda.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Amanda, and I'm from SMK Asunta.
All right, and for those of you who are watching at home and you haven't heard from which school they are from, they're actually from SMK Asunta Petaling Jaya. I think they repeated it 6 times already. Okay, so before we continue, I actually like to ask Puan A. Yeah? So the subject that we have here, I mean, there's a lot of students who are a bit afraid to take up this subject, and you already mentioned about the advantages of taking this subject, but also maybe you could also point out what are the I know the word in Malay, I just can't figure it in English, but what are the, not the disadvantages, but the mistakes, that's right. What are the mistakes that students usually do when they're answering this subject or this paper? And maybe you can point out and maybe ways on how we can cope with that mistakes or to correct these mistakes.
Okay. At the top of my head, to answer your question, I'll probably say a lot of candidates assume that when they get a question to respond to, they assume that they have to vomit everything back out.
Oh, okay.
They assume that the more I write, the longer my response is, the better I will score.
I see.
That's probably a mistake a lot of candidates make, because what we're looking for is an intelligent discussion.
I see.
Do you know your text? Can you discuss well? It's not a writing competition.
Yes.
I don't want to know how much you can write.
Yeah, it's more about the critical thinking and also looking
and
at how
the
you
analysis,
can,
correct.
Yeah, you can also prove or justify your answer based on the text given, correct? All right, so before we move on further, how about we take a short break and we'll be back to you for Road to Success SPM 2021. Don't go anywhere.
Hi everyone, Salam Sejahtera. My name is Kenny Martin and my daughter Angel Elena is a student of SMK Asunta PJ. This year, Angel will be sitting for her SPM examination and one of her chosen subject is the English literature. Angel finds this subject very interesting and she wants to excel in it. I too find this subject fascinating and I have given her all the encouragement and support. I find that this subject brings the best out of her. The poems and short stories are so practical that it can be applied in our daily lives. I want to take this opportunity and convey my gratitude and thank all the staff and management of SMK Asunta for their tireless effort and commitment to ensure that the classes are in progress despite the pandemic season. I want to take this opportunity also to wish all the SPM candidates good luck and all the best in their exams. And to my daughter Angel, stay focused and be motivated.
DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
Hi everyone, my name is Rishika and I'm from SMK Asunta. So today I'll be sharing about English literature. As a literature student and being asked why I like literature, I will say that literature makes you think. It makes you question a lot and it changes the way you look at the world, and I precisely love literature for that. One of my teachers said that literature makes you a good person, nothing more and nothing less. Literature isn't just about the poetry, the novels, the dramas and all. You'll also be studying a lot of symbolism and interpretation theory. Personally, I don't think literature is a difficult subject. I mean, if you don't enjoy reading and don't enjoy visiting some of the world's finest minds ever, you won't really enjoy English literature and it might be difficult for you. So that's all for me today. I would like to take this opportunity to wish all the SPM candidates good luck, and I hope to do well in this paper. Thank you.
And we're back to Road to Success SPM 2021 together with me, Sean Stephen, and also Puan A for the subject English Literature drama Flowers for Algernon. All right, so Puan A, over to you.
Okay, thank you, Sean. For those of you who are perhaps curious about this specific or particular subject, welcome to join us today to learn more about one, if I may let you know, yeah, Sean? There are 3 dramas that are going to be tested, but the 6 lovely young ladies who are with me here, my pupils from Asunta, they're going to help all of you out there understand one drama in particular.
Okay.
Of the 3, we're going to look at Flowers for Algernon.
Okay.
Yeah. Of the 3, this drama has a special place in my heart because we have journeyed together, these lovely young ladies and I, learned a lot about the protagonist, yeah? And the protagonist is your Charlie Gordon, and he is, as they will tell you, a slow adult learner.
Okay.
Okay, so this drama begins with us learning about a man who wishes to be smart.
Okay.
Easy enough premise, yeah? Everybody wants to be intelligent. However, what makes this drama very interesting, very unique, is the fact that it actually was written as a play.
Oh.
It started off as a play to be put on stage, and our Mr. Cools, Bert Cools, has transformed it for radio dramatization.
I see.
So this year's SPM 2021 candidates are going to specifically answer questions based on the radio drama.
Ooh,
right?
Right.
You have an adult slow learner who yearns to become intelligent,
Okay.
finds out that he is picked for a brain surgery.
Oh, wow.
He's very happy, very willing to sign up. And the question that we have as we begin our journey is, what's going to happen? Is there a happy ending at the end of the road for Charlie Gordon? Or will he somehow have a future very similar to Algernon? I'm sure you're curious as to who Algernon is. All right.
Yeah.
So Algernon is the white mouse, a laboratory white mouse that Dr. Niemer and Dr. Strauss previously operated on.
I see. Okay.
Okay. So the thing is, for today's lesson, we're not going to look at the text. We're going to look at what kind of questions would come up. Because at the end of the day, I think that's what these candidates are going to aim for. Be prepared. What kind of questions will come out, and how do I answer them?
All right.
And that was a very beautiful question you asked. Shall I write long and long and long essays?
Yes.
Yeah? So we are actually looking at 4 assessment objectives. Okay? And what I call them in class is AO1, AO2, AO3, and AO4. Okay? AO1 just refers to candidates showing in-depth knowledge of the text and being able to support using textual evidence. In layman's terms, do you know your stuff?
Yeah.
Do you know your text, right? AO2 refers to being able to explore text and dig deep to understand underlying meaning. So it's not just about reading what's happened in the text, but knowing the significance of what has happened in the text.
I see. Okay.
Right, what has happened and what it actually means.
Yeah.
And then we're looking for AO3. Can candidates analyze and evaluate the language and literary devices? Okay.
Yeah.
Can they recognize symbolism? Can they recognize personification? Can they recognize good use of words to express a character's personality, for example? And then, my favorite, AO4, a candidate's ability to communicate and inform personal and critical response, meaning if I ask, so Sean, what do you think? That's a loaded question.
Yeah.
All right? I don't expect you to just say, oh, Cikgu, I like it.
Yeah.
That's not enough.
That's true.
All right?
Yeah.
So we'll have to go deeper than that. Right? So we're going to break down the AOs.
Okay.
All right? We're going to look at AO1 first and foremost. AO1, which is to show in-depth knowledge of literary text. And I normally start my class with this. All right?
Okay.
Are you going to throw me an allegation or are you going to give me a supported statement?
Yeah.
Okay? An allegation is a claim or assertion made. There's no proof. All right? So I might just look at one of the ladies and say, who is the most handsome man in the world, in your opinion? See how they're smiling? They cannot believe I've just asked them that question on national TV. Right? Because there are 20,000 answers.
Yes.
But you're looking at a specific text, and that means you have to provide an argument that is supported by textual evidence.
Yes.
So you might look at this and be able to tell the difference. All right?
Yes.
You've got two different statements, and the first statement says, she was the most popular celebrity the world had ever seen. All right?
Yeah.
Then you look at the second one. She was the most popular celebrity the world had ever seen. Look how it goes on after that. She was instantly recognizable. She could be seen in commercials, movies, and dramas. Her face was on campaign posters, on shampoo bottles, even on your Maggie Me packages. She was definitely everywhere.
So this is the textual evidence you were mentioning about.
All right. So we are going to look at Lynette, and she's going to tell us which is which. Which is the allegation and which is the supported statement?
Right. The supported statement would be the one with more evidence, such as on Maggie Me packets and on shampoo bottles, whereas the allegation would just simply stating that she was the famous celebrity.
Thank you. Thank you for that. To say that she was popular, but to not provide proof.
Yeah.
So in any literature class, whether we're reading poems, whether we're reading dramas, novels, short stories, I would say, whatever you want to say, it has to come with textual evidence.
Yes.
Okay? You're right?
Yeah, I'm okay.
They are more worried about you. So we're looking at a specific scene in the drama, and this is scene 16. And you have a conversation here between Miss Kenyon and Charlie. Now we know now Charlie has gone for the operation and has become intelligent. Super intelligent, in fact.
Oh,
right?
Okay.
We're looking at only the extract. Right? And we're going to ask questions based on this extract. She asks at the beginning of the conversation, are you enjoying the book? And his response is, it's very hard. I never read such a hard book before. I feel sorry for him. And that already piques her interest.
Yeah.
Oh, he's actually able to respond. For Robinson Crusoe, why? And this is Charlie's response. He's all alone, he has no friends, but I think there must be someone else there based on the picture. And he doesn't have the book in his hand.
Oh.
Oh, where did that come from, right? So she's asking him, what picture? And he immediately tells her the picture that is there on page 137. You have an adult slow learner who can suddenly tell you page 137. What has just happened, all right? So, if you're looking at the question, why was Miss Kenyon taken aback? What gave her that surprise?
Yeah.
Aisha, I'm going to surprise you by asking you, why was Miss Kenyon taken aback? What shocked her?
Miss Kenyon was surprised because she didn't expect that Charlie Gordon himself can memorize the specific scene and page. That's why.
Correct, very good. And she has been teaching him in a slow adult learner class.
I see.
How can this man suddenly be able to tell me exactly which page? So we would respond by saying, if you're looking for A01, Charlie Gordon surprisingly can recall an exact page, can provide specific details, which was something he previously could not do.
Yeah.
All right? And in the case of Miss Kenyon, because she's in absolute disbelief, she actually said, tell me more. Tell me more, right? That's A01, that's just the tip of the iceberg. All right?
Yeah.
Then after, if you're looking at A02, or shall we?
Yes,
shall
we still have time.
All right,
yeah.
okay. If you're looking at A02, in contrast to A01, it's also knowing the text.
Yes.
But it says there, A02 looks at exploring text and going into underlying meaning. Wow. So you're looking at the same text. This is scene 16 in the drama, but I might just give you a different question. Instead of just asking you, why was she shocked? I might ask you, what does this scene reveal to us about Miss Kenyon and Charlie Gordon? And for that, maybe Delphine can help me?
Yes. Well, pre-surgery, Charlie was barely able to read, let alone, speak well. But now he's able to recall a specific passage from a specific book just off the top of his head. So definitely it shows that the surgery was a success, and it's showing that Charlie is actually developing his intelligence. And on the other hand, we see Miss Kenyon, who is actually seeing how this surgery is actually successful now. So I think that is why she was really surprised by how Charlie could, answer her question like that.
Okay, thank you very much. You're looking at the scene, and you're looking at how Miss Kenyon has just realized, wow, this pupil of mine is not just intelligent, has surpassed the average person.
Yes.
Yeah? And if you're looking at Charlie Gordon himself, he's not the same man anymore. He can now formulate deep and mature opinions. He's more aware about the things around him. Best of all, he's also developed photographic memory.
Yes.
Something that has completely left her gobsmacked.
Yeah.
She didn't expect that at all. That's why she asked for further details. So when you're looking at the 4 AOs, as I mentioned earlier, we normally start with these two.
Yes.
Because when we ask the students, how well do you know your text? A lot of them will say, I do know my text. I've memorized everything.
Oh.
I know the text, you know the text. I have the same book you do. That's not it. The requirements of the task may differ from one to the other. So if you're looking at this specific task, and it asks us, what is revealed to us? What have we learned about Miss Kenyon? What have we learned about Charlie Gordon? You're looking at underlying meaning. He's not just become super smart, he has been transformed, so to speak.
Yes.
That would be an AO2 response.
I
Maybe you want to take the paper now for
Yes,
SPM.
I'm actually intrigued because this is I didn't have the opportunity to actually pick up this paper or take this paper when I was sitting for my SPM because I at that time I didn't really enjoy reading so much. It was
You were
more
a
of
naughty
just,
boy, I'm sure. Okay.
I was only memorizing whatever I've learned in classrooms, and taking an extra subject would mean that I would need to put more time in that. But looking at what you have shared with us, this is actually a pretty interesting and also very intriguing for me as an individual for this subject. Well, it's too bad, but never mind. How about we take a short break and we're back here at SPM, Road to Success, SPM 2021 for the subject English Literature, Flowers for Algernon. Don't go anywhere.
DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
Hi, my name is Teo Chen and I'm from SMK Asunta. I'm 17 years old this year. Currently, I'm taking literature in English in my school. I started learning literature in English when I was Form 4, that is the 2020. First, what I like about this subject. Literature is all about novels, short story, poems, all the iconic states of sensation, for example, love, pain, joy, curiosity, and suffering. All these can be found in literature and being well described. So intensely, I am able to feel quite deeply something that someone had felt many years ago. Second, what I found tough or difficult in this subject. I feel that analyzing every poem and novel is very hard. As for this, we need to do a lot of research from the internet and also get more information from our teacher. Because we are not only learning one poem, we have to learn all 10 poems given so that we have to understand all the 10 poems and even remembering what is the poem about. Third, why I took this subject. Although literature is a very challenging subject, but I still made my choice by taking this subject because after reading every poem, short stories and novels, the authors and poet is sending a very important message to the future us, or even give to future us a life lesson. With this short message, it may change our lives to a better us in the future. This is all from me. Thank you. Bye.
And we are back with Road to Success SPM 2021 for the subject English Literature Drama, Flowers for Algernon. And with me, we have also Puan A. All right, so far. Okay, so over to you, Puan A.
All right, so ladies and gentlemen out there, we took a quick look at AO 1 and 2, and even Sean has survived. He's taken a liking to the text.
Oh, yes.
And we are going to look at the 2 other assessment objectives. And here I have AO3. AO3 refers to being able to analyze, being able to evaluate how language has been used, how specific literary devices have been used. In other words, you are looking at the writer's craft.
Okay.
You're looking at how a playwright, for example, has achieved certain effects to get the plot underway, or to have the characters better understood in any text, right? So we're looking at a specific scene, once again, from the play Flowers for Algernon, and I'm sure those of you who are doing this radio drama, you recognize scene 31's recording. All right, Charlie records his thoughts and opinions at the end of every day. And this is the recording at the end of scene 31, where he says, Algernon is changing. Don't forget, Algernon is the white laboratory mouse that Dr. Niemer and Dr. Strauss previously operated upon, yeah?
Yes.
So Algernon is changing, he's less cooperative, he has to be fed every meal. They're all pretending that his character changes aren't necessarily significant for me. So he's actually thinking about how other people around him are now reacting to him. They're on their tippy toes. What's happening? It's hard to ignore the fact that some of the other animals who were used in this experiment are also showing strange behavior. So it gets a bit like science fiction here.
Yes, yeah.
What Algernon went through is what Charlie has also gone through. And previous to that, other animals who were also used in this experiment. What do you think?
I would think it's pretty scary for him because I think, because I haven't read the book yet or the drama itself, but just through my assumption that looking at this, Algernon is changing. So that would mean that Algernon has already gone through this surgery or this process before him. So this is actually, in a way, he's kind of looking into his future where he might be facing the same symptoms as
I see my kids nodding. So I think you have been approved, I think. You can join the class.
Okay. Yeah, but I think if I put myself in his shoes, I think it would be pretty scary because he can see all these changes as happening to Algernon and even all the other animals, and I guess he is also
What's the
fearing
next
for himself.
step?
The next step would, okay, I'm not sure what to say.
Lavanya, help me out.
Please.
Lavanya, if you could, what is the significance of the changes in Algernon? I wonder if she's all right.
Okay, I think her line is a bit okay.
Algernon has been stopped eating. Algernon has been stopped eating right before he passed on. So they are just ignore the signs, even though that might be what Charlie is going through.
Correct. It seems like all gloom and doom. Thanks, Lavanya. We're looking at the question specifically, and the question is, how was this moment made a suspenseful one?
I see. Okay, so this refers to how that situation is
what
written.
Was used?
Yeah, correct.
What were the techniques and devices used? Because you caught on to it immediately. You said it's creepy in a sense, because the mention of the other animal seems to spell out, is it going to happen to me as well, right? So if the question was, how is this moment made a suspenseful one? It would look at the writer's craft, all right? You would look at specific words, pretending, meaning it's not the truth. You're looking at words like hard to ignore the fact, again, hiding the truth. What about the last expression there? Showing strange behavior as well. It seems to indicate or suggest, isn't it?
Yes.
Without having to spell it out plainly, you felt it.
Yes.
Okay, it carried their dark vibes. So we would say here that there was a choice of words specifically used to create foreshadowing. You use the word future there, right? And suspense, obviously, because there's a bit of a panic and anxiety there. If it happened to Algernon, now he's grumpy, he's not eating. Oh no, is it going to happen to me? Right? It strongly suggests that Charlie's future will mirror Algernon, and there is that sense of impending doom. It feels that you've got those people around you hiding the truth from you.
Yes.
All right? I, for one, if I might just say, love foreshadowing.
Oh.
It puts readers on alert, on their tippy toes. Although some might say, don't like, it's like a spoiler alert, don't like. Right? And when you have foreshadowing, it already seems to tell you there ain't gonna be a happy ending. They don't like it, because they can already tell me, using textual evidence, oh no.
Yeah, and even from the text that you have just showed, and it also, somehow it relates to the title of this drama, Flowers for Algernon. At first, when I first read it, when I first read that title, I thought, okay, it's a romance drama or something like this. But then, now that you showed me this text, and then you say, Flowers for Algernon, is that like flowers that you bring, you know, to put on someone's graves or something like that?
Right, correct.
It's a bit,
All right.
Wow, okay.
So AO3 is done, and we're looking at AO4, which is, as I mentioned earlier, my favorite AO. I'm always challenging kids to elaborate and justify, because if I ask them a question about a specific passage, I throw them a question, and then after they've read it, I ask them, so how did that make you feel? A lot of them will say, meh, which is a typical teenage response. And I will have to say that is not a valid response for your SPM exam. An AO4 question requires you to communicate an informed, personal, and critical response. If you like, if you do not like, if you agree, if you disagree, there must be basis. What led you to that conclusion, you have to prove to me from the text. All right? So we're looking at scene 2, and it's like going back into the past.
Okay.
This is the first time that our Charlie Gordon meets with Bert in a small room at the hospital. All right, they've never met each other. And he introduces himself. He says, "I'm Charlie," and Bert just says, "My name's Bert." Very polite, cordial, but that's it.
Okay.
He extends it further by saying, "How do you do, Bert?" And you have the comment there, an unexpected formal politeness coming from Charlie. It takes Bert by surprise, and he's looking at Charlie Gordon properly for the first time.
Okay.
Okay? And then Bert says, "I'm very well, thanks. Charlie, are you ready now? I want you to look at these cards. I've taken just this few lines because I always ask them about first impressions. I'm always asking students, what is your first impression about a specific character? Especially if they are rounded characters, 3D characters, they will grow throughout the journey of the text. So your opinion cannot be the same. What's your first impression of Charlie Gordon? All right?
Yeah.
Who's going to answer for me this specific question? Ms. Amanda.
All right.
DeWitt. Just looking at this text, because you're supposed to pick out textual evidence, yeah?
I think that Charlie seems like a very polite person, but he also seems a bit hesitant.
A bit
I
hesitant.
suppose. But he is very friendly.
He is friendly, correct. So we're going to say that that's your personal reaction to him, yeah? First impression, he is friendly, he's polite, right? He wants to get to know you.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Let's look at, where am I going with this? Okay, so this is also scene 2, and this happened after this conversation.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, he records into his tape and he says, "I had a test today and I think I failed it. I think that's going to happen. They won't use me." And this is what happened. A young, nice man had these white cards with ink spilled over them. And I was very scared, even though I had my rabbit's foot. I always failed my test. Okay? What's your first impression? Amanda's answered, no, you answer.
Oh, based on this text?
Based just on this. What's
Based on
your
this
first
text.
impression of Charlie Gordon?
You can see everyone laughing because they knew I wasn't paying attention. But then again, I would say that he thought he failed. But then again, when he was talking about the cards that had ink spilled over them,
Those are ink blot tests.
Correct. So,
Let's look at the answer.
Yes, let's look at the answer.
In this scene, what is your first impression of Charlie Gordon? So I would ask my students, my pupils, all candidates out there, do not forget to use expressions like "I feel," "I think," "it is my opinion," all right? That he is very courteous, that's what Ms. Amanda said, courteous, polite, respectful towards others, and based on the extract I asked you to look at, he is somewhat naive.
Okay.
Although he is an adult male, a grown man, he frets over the possible failure.
Okay.
All right? And he is saying, they won't use me now. Rather pessimistic in nature.
Yeah.
But only because he is thinking like a young boy somewhat. So he's saying, I think I failed it. He's fretting over not being picked.
Yeah.
And then he refers to good luck charms like the rabbit's foot. And he even mentions how he's always failed tests in school, and I don't know about today. I had the rabbit's foot with me. I think I failed today's test as well.
Yes.
So this is a far cry from the Charlie Gordon that you saw in the earlier slides.
Oh, yes.
Because the earlier slides actually show you the journey of Charlie Gordon after his tripling of intelligence. But I wanted to go back to this because I wanted to look at AO4. And AO4 looks at personal reaction.
I see. Yeah.
How do you think it's going to work out? what do you think it's going to happen to Charlie Gordon?
Yes.
Okay?
Okay.
Okay, so that's AO4.
So far we've covered the 4 AOs.
Correct.
So the first one again, could we just recap again on the first one?
AO1 was knowing the text.
Knowing the text. Number 2.
AO2 was knowing digging deeper for underlying meaning.
Yes.
And then AO3,
To
your
analyze.
text and devices, textual evidence and devices, and AO4.
AO4. All right. So
Okay.
hopefully for those of you who are online right now, okay so far, give me a thumbs up if you can follow. I think they are definitely able to follow. And for those of you watching at home, hopefully you get to follow as well. But what's going to happen is before we proceed further, we're going to take a short break and we'll be back to you for English Literature Drama Flowers for Algernon on Road to Success SPM 2021. Don't go anywhere.
DidikTV KPM. DidikTV KPM.
You are now watching Road to Success SPM 2021 together with me, Sean Stephen, and also Puan A for the subject English Literature Drama Flowers for Algernon. We're going into our final 10 or 15 minutes of the segment. Over to you, Puan A.
Thank you, Sean. And so, ladies and gentlemen, everybody out there, we took a separate look at the individual AOs from Assessment Objective 1 all the way to Assessment Objective 4. And what I have here right now is a sample task, which is going to require, I guess you could say, an accumulation or a total sum of all 4. How would we answer this question? It's going to come out soon, based on the text.
Okay.
All right? And this is specifically a scene that comes towards the end of the drama.
Okay.
It's in Charlie's room that he's renting. He is asleep, breathing fitfully.
Oh.
And Charlie is the voice of Miss Kenyon, trying to get him to wake up. But when he realizes who it is, he reacts like this. Miss Kenyon, go away. I don't want to see you. How did you get in? And she says, the door wasn't locked.
Okay.
All right? Charlie, let go of me. What are you doing? I want you to go away. It's a rather suspenseful moment. She's trying to check on him, find out if he's all right.
Yes.
He's obviously pushing her away. Okay? You're hurting me. You shouldn't have come in. You shouldn't have seen me. And what he does is he actually pushes her out of the open door, slams the door shut, and she's hammering on it. She's knocking outside. She's asking him, please let me in.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is scene 39 of the play, where he says, you can't help me. Although she repeatedly says, let me in, I want to help you. All right? I don't like you anymore, he says.
Yes.
Okay, so scene 39 of the play is a very emotional moment, very emotional point in the text. It shows to you Miss Kenyon trying her best, but obviously rejected by Charlie Gordon. So if we had this text for students, all right, and we give them this specific question.
Okay.
All right, how has the scene been made an unforgettable one? All right, I want candidates out there to remember one thing. Looking at this question, some of you out there may say, based on what Puan A said earlier, this is a technical question.
Okay.
This is a question that requires me to talk about devices and language.
Yes.
But I want you to remember all answers, all responses that you write for questions like this would require you to put in your AO1, 2, 3, and 4. So it's a comprehensive response that we're looking for.
Okay.
All right, we don't want candidates to just say, oh, this scene has been made unforgettable because it's got this device or it's had this use of language, it has this effect. Yeah. It would actually feel complete to the candidate, but in actual fact, it would not be a comprehensive response, right? Yeah. So I would like everyone out there to remember, for a question like this, if this was an actual exam question, your response would focus more on the techniques, correct? Why was this such an unforgettable moment, correct? Yes. You're looking at plot. Mm-hmm. That's one. You're looking at language, that's one. You're looking at devices, that's one. So doesn't that already tell you that your answer cannot just focus on AO3? Your answer needs to consider all. All the AOs, all right? So, how has the scene been made an unforgettable one? The focus is which AO? I wonder if I could just get one answer from maybe Delphine. If you're looking at this answer, which AO strikes you as most important?
Well, most important, well, I think definitely we have to present our opinions based on evidence provided. Okay. So yes, I would say that I would first look at my AO3, you know, what am I looking at, or even my AO1, which is the most basic. For example, looking at the text, it says that Charlie is breathing fitfully. It shows that, you know, he's not okay with what's going on. He's not peaceful. So it shows that, you know, he's actually under a great amount of pressure, or just he's just really overwhelmed by the entire experience itself. So, yeah.
Okay. She has got it.
Correct?
Correct.
Oh, yay! Oh, you put in some suspense there as well.
Yeah, the element of suspense.
Yeah.
So how has this scene been made an unforgettable one would require candidates out there to put together an answer that considers and intelligently discusses in-depth discussion of all four. Yeah. As she said earlier, AO1, that's your basic. You have to know the plot. So you're going to mention Charlie is sleeping fitfully. It shows right off the bat he's under a great deal of stress, okay? And you've got textual evidence to prove it. Okay? He reacts with horror, not knowing that Miss Kenyon was right there. And then you've got AO2, his aggressive behavior towards Miss Kenyon. And then you've got your AO3. What are the words that he uses? He actually said over and over again, go away, go away. All right? That's your AO1, AO2, AO3 right there. And the icing on the cake, once you've discussed all this, you're going to say, I'm heartbroken. I'm so sad for him. I can imagine the despair that he is going through. Yes. So actually, you've put it all together.
Yes,
that's what I meant.
AO1, AO2,
your 1
AO3, and
your
AO4.
2,
So this is considered a complete answer already.
Complete answer, yes.
All right. And since we're already approaching towards the end of our show, maybe you could also give us a summary of what we have learned for today, for this topic in particular.
Okay. Everyone out there, please remember, knowing the text is not enough, because what you know of the text would actually mean having in your mind the 4 AOs all the time. All right? It's not memorizing, but answering the question that is absolutely vital.
All right, all right. So if I'm not mistaken, you also have some objectives that you wanted to mention as well.
The objectives? Oh, I guess you could look back. Oh no, how do I get back to that? I guess I could just mention it verbally. Yes. Your AOs are your AO 1, 2, 3, and 4. Always have them in mind, knowing the text, knowing the underlying meaning, knowing the devices used, and personally responding to the task. That is how you answer your exam question.
All right, thank you so much. And also, I'd like to check with the students who are online as well. Maybe I can get one of you to actually give us what you have learned from today. Maybe I can ask Sophia. Sophia, hi Sophia. Maybe you can also give us one takeaway that you have gotten from today's learning session.
What I've learned, I understood more about the assessment objectives. Before this, I find it a bit hard,
Yeah.
especially for AO3 and AO4. But after what Asima explained just now, I feel that I can do better after this. Yeah.
she doesn't sound so confident, but yeah, maybe she can. But yes, definitely having Puan A, the wind behind your wings, hopefully she will definitely bring you to actually getting that A for this subject. And again, I would like to thank Puan A, Puan Asima, for being here with us today and also sharing all this information with us, and also for those who are currently watching at home, so that you can actually make use of this information that you have gathered and also received. And for those of you considering to pick up this subject, well, it's definitely an interesting subject. I actually kind of regret right now for not picking up this subject. Also, I would like to thank the students who are online with us, Aisha, Lavanya, Lynette, Sophia, Delphine, as well as Amanda for being with us today. And of course, for those of you watching at home, please make sure to always follow the SOPs in place so that we can flatten the curve, our battle against COVID-19. And we will see you in our next episode for Road to Success SPM 2021. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.
DidikTV KPM